Alan performs vicariously now, not as much through his brothers as through his sons. They form their own group, the Osmonds, the second generation, and appear regularly in Branson. For Alan, it's deja vu.
I took my father's profile. If you're going to do it, you better do it right. And we got up early. They worked every morning before school for an hour and came home and worked. They put their dues in, and they were very good. And I'm sure you'll see a lot of Osmonds continue.
The brothers' reunion and return to the stage coincided with developments in Donnie's and Marie's careers. Each starred in traveling shows. Marie toured in productions of The Sound of Music and The King and I. Donnie's return to the musical stage was a huge career risk. After he flopped in Little Johnny Jones, he wasn't sure if anyone would cast him again. Yet he had promised himself that he would return to the stage. A lot was riding on his audition for producer Garth Drabinsky, who was mounting a touring production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in 1991.
When I started singing, it wasn't me. I really threw myself into that role of Joseph. And I went for the high note at the very, very end, and I nailed it, and I finished it. And you know, these producers, you know, it's just like the movies. They're sitting out there with their arms folded, no applause. And the next thing I hear is, "Come here, kid." And I walk out in the audience, and I'm sitting there with Mr. Drabinsky, and he committed to me right there and then without any callbacks. He said, "You're the one I want." And I signed about a 6-month deal. 6 years later, I finished it.
From the Sony Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's Donnie and Marie.
When Donnie and Marie completed their respective tours, they reunited to co-host a syndicated talk and variety show in 1998.
We realized, you know what? We've been in the business 35 years. We don't need to try anything fancy. We don't need to do anything like our old show. Let's just be ourselves and have a great time. And that's why I'm loving this show, because I can go out there knowing that Marie is such a professional, and I can depend on her, and she knows that she can depend on me. And we have the time of our lives.
We have a bathtub that...
Really? You take baths?
Yes, I do. I'd like to use this thing! Okay.
It feels really good to get back together again. It's a very comfortable place. And, you know, a sister can go places with her brother in a hosting situation that you couldn't do with a co-host who is not a sibling. You know, I can tell him to knock it off, and he can tell me to knock it off. And, I mean, it's a fun relationship that you have as siblings.
The success of the new Donnie and Marie show and the Osmond Theater in Branson proves that as a family, the Osmonds continue to evolve and endure. Their talent for doing so ensures a legacy unique in the realm of show business.
How many artists have achieved what they've achieved? They probably sold around the world close to $100 million worth of records. That's a legacy in and of itself. The way they were able to live their moral values and their faith in their daily lives in a business that is difficult to work in, I think is probably a legacy that is so rare that it will be remembered.
Their legacy is they're entertainers in a way that the rock establishment may have looked down their nose at, but as time goes on, I think it becomes clear that all rock and roll and all popular music is entertainment, whether people like to admit it or not. You know, Pearl Jam is in the same business that Donnie's in, just different ends of it. But we'll see if Pearl Jam are still making music in 25 years. And I think we at least have to give the Osmonds their respect for hanging in there and fighting their own sort of good fight.
The Osmonds don't measure their legacy by the number of records sold, awards won, or years performed. Those statistics, though impressive, don't matter. Entertaining is just their living, not their lives. It's how they've chosen to conduct their lives that matters most. In their view, it's the only thing worth singing about.
The only thing all of us truly deep down want to be known for is that we were a family, and we loved each other, and we were successful, and we were good parents to our kids. The rest of the world, who needs it?